and was ushered in, and he startled the young man on his bed. He has a policeman standing over him with a gun in his holster and a cameraman over his shoulder. He knew that it was real. He came out, as he was going to the bus, he had his bag in his hand. He looked over his shoulder and he said, "Mommy." And ASP Brown said, "I am your mommy for the next 10 years." But ASP Brown wasn't just his mommy, he was his big brother and his father. Yes. And this young man had a team that also became his big brothers and sisters. And that is my team. Now, normally I have a rule when we do these types of things. What is the routine? To not interact with children on a personal level. For us to do what we have to do professionally, we cannot get personal. I say it at the beginning of every production, knowing that by the time we get to the last day, everybody's interacting with the kids. Everybody's growing an attachment. And I made a note of it this morning. This time we're shooting this show with 4 parents. I'm one. But the 3 other parents are also parents of boys. So it's impossible for them not to care. We all care. And we wanted to do something special. This is not from the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, so I'll make sure everyone knows this. This is from the staff who worked on the show. We would like to invite to the stage the Sharky of the season. Roll it in. It's Ontario Smith. Ontario, it would have been easy for us to just give you another certificate, but you know us, and so we extra. So we went out yesterday shopping in the middle of the fun day. We missed all that good fun at the beginning. We missed the tug of war, we missed the, what else is it, baseball, and the water fight, because we were out shopping. Ontario, his dossier indicated that one of his goals in life was to also become a barber. Well, in this bag are the tools you need to get started. This is what it's all about. We believe in you. We gave you what you needed. We didn't just patch you on the shoulder and say, do well. We want you to get a good start. Another point that somebody made yesterday, I think it was Brown. He has other goals as well. This is just one of them. So congratulations.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, an iconic city landmark demolished by the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Plus, Six Senses Resort investment unlikely to diminish Grand Lucayan Resort sales success, according to the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. And the Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas makes a donation to the public health system. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight we begin with the end of an era as an iconic landmark that has been a part of the Grand Bahama landscape is no longer. The historic Tory Gate was demolished by the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Today was a bittersweet moment for many residents of Grand Bahama who visit the shopping mecca while growing up on this northern island. One Grand Bahama resident led a campaign to save the landmark, but plans were already in motion to have it torn down. Our intern Wes Calix has tonight's top story.
Right here is where the iconic Tory Gates once stood. A Japanese symbol for welcome to tourists was torn down Wednesday morning by the Grand Bahama Port Authority in exercise of their demolition that they hope will transform the city of Freeport. Despite mixed reactions on whether or not the Tory Gate should remain as a landmark in the heart of the once popular International Bazaar, the decision was finally made that the structure no longer serves a purpose. However, Pindus Point native Edward Eddie Meadows, as he once called for the preservation of the gates.
Like I said, so many events and memories. The Goombay Summer, we even had back in the day, you had a Grand Prix car race around here. It just holds so many memories. I think they should incorporate it into the new. I mean, I know they're going to have their own symbol for the new one, but the Tory Gate could, have little seats around it or something and sit there. In fact, it's a piece of art that's already there. They don't need to create a new piece of art.
But there are many who disagrees.
The Tory Gate, if it's not no bazaar, you should take it down because it's really a Chinese symbol anyhow. And then the Chinatown is gone and all that stuff.
My impact as a Bahamian, understanding our culture, understanding where God wants to be spiritually. The Tory Gate really has to come down because of the meaning of what it stands for. It stands for a gate opening for what is it? China, Japan. It has a history or artifact of being something dealing with witchcraft, voodoo, gate opening.
I feel that they should tear it down because people have to know that when people put up stuff, it has a significant meaning. And we know that the Chinese has a different belief from the Bahamians.
The bazaar is not in existence. I don't see why it still has to be standing there. That's just my opinion.
Just last week, the Grand Bahama Port Authority carried out the first demolition exercise on sections of the International Bazaar, which has been an eyesore following fires and hurricanes. For the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition, I'm intern Wes Calix.
Thanks, Wes. Well, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce is expressing optimism that the new Six Senses Resort will not diminish the potential success of the Grand Lucayan Resort should an investor decide to purchase it. This comes after the failure of the Grand Lucayan Resort to attract an investor. Simone Davis has more in this report.
Will the onset of the new Six Senses Resort on Grand Bahama discourage investors from purchasing and renovating the Grand Lucayan Resort? Well, we pose the question to Chamber President James Carey, who says,
the news on Six Senses is very exciting, and I believe it will be good for Grand Bahama. We're anxiously waiting for the concrete trucks to start pulling in and concrete going into the ground. That usually says it all. The type of resort that they're looking at is completely different to the Grand Lucayan Resort. Sometimes it's more feasible, both from a practical standpoint and economically, to start from scratch.
Six Senses is a resort that's currently in the planning phase and expected to be completed by 2025 or early 2026. The resort will host an experience center along with artist studios, relaxed meeting spaces, a fitness center, and a Six Senses spa, among others. While some residents express that it may take away from the potential of the Grand Lucayan, the Chamber President has a different opinion.
The Grand Lucayan, as I understand it, does need a lot of attention, a lot of reno, etc. The world is sort of shifting to more eco-friendly about everything. And I think that is something that Six Senses will bring.
Kerry says he believes the Grand Lucayan would still cater to a specific group of visitors, and he says it may be a good thing for investors who prefer to start a property from ground zero.
There's been a bit of circulation of some of their design, and it's very attractive, family-oriented, etc., etc. So it's exciting to see what they're doing, and there's still room for the Grand Lucayan type of resort, because there's that type of population, traveling population that would love that type of resort.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, in recent time, much has been said about the strength of the Bahamian dollar, and on the other hand, some have speculated about a possible devaluation, while our Ajaquant put that question to the government of the central bank.
Whatever happens to the U.S. dollar, we will move in the same direction.
Governor at the Central Bank of the Bahamas explains that the Bahamian dollar is pegged to the U.S. dollar at a fixed rate of 1-to-1, which means that the value of the Bahamian dollar is directly tied to that of the U.S. dollar.
The closeness of that relationship continues to rationalize, staying very close to the U.S. dollar as well. And therefore, even if there are outcomes elsewhere in the world where countries might decide to reduce their dependence on the U.S. dollars for whatever reason, what is most important is that it is driven by economic considerations, and if you're looking at it from an economic point of view, it makes sense for the Bahamas to continue to maintain that very close relationship with the dollar, U.S. dollar.
Roll expressing confidence in the stability of the Bahamian dollar and the country's overall economic look, while also noting that the Central Bank of the Bahamas has taken steps to mitigate the risks associated with the pegged exchange rate.
We're doing what is right to preserve that by making sure that the country continues to have the supply of foreign reserves.
According to financial consultants Charles Schwab, there has been speculation lately that the U.S. dollar is on the verge of a major decline and might even lose its status as the world's major reserve currency. The governor says, however, that the U.S. has a very strong economy and is often considered a safe haven. He reminds that what happens to the U.S. dollar against the rest of the world means that the Bahamian dollar is moving in the same direction.
We should appreciate, though, that whatever happens to the value of the U.S. dollar against the rest of the world also means that the Bahamian dollar is moving in the same direction. And therefore, there's always the potential that it impacts on net what it costs for a European or Asians to come to the Bahamas as tourists. And often it impacts the comparison that Americans make in terms of whether they come to the Bahamas or go to other destinations for vacation. But, we have the advantage of proximity, and there are some other niceties about the Bahamas, which I think we can continue to capitalize on and exploit.
And in the case of the sand dollar currency, Roll says he and his team will continue working towards educating the country on the importance of trading it as the world continues to evolve. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Ajaquant.
Well, it was a unique occasion for the island of Grand Bahama as the Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas continue with efforts to strengthen the relationship between China and the Bahamas, this time through a donation to the public health system. Raven Davis has that report.
Chinese Ambassador Dai Qingli making a kind donation of medical supplies to the Grand Bahama Health Services during a brief handover ceremony earlier this week. Since the onset of the pandemic, the Chinese government has aided the Bahamas in its fight against COVID-19. However, the ambassador notes that this donation is particularly special since it is the first batch of supplies specifically meant for Grand Bahama.
That is the result of my discussion with Madam Moxie. And so based on her advice and also based on the urgent needs of the Grand Bahama Health Services, so we decided to make available some medical supplies in terms of syringes, needles, and general hospital use items.
Remarking that health is a top priority in Grand Bahama's recovery, Qingli affirms a shared commitment to strengthening the country's public health systems.
I just want to reiterate our support for this endeavor in whatever way we can. So we will stay in touch with the Ministry for Grand Bahama and also the Grand Bahama Health Services.
Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, expressing gratitude for this humanitarian exchange.
The ambassador has been instrumental, really, in getting a lot of supplies, not just here on Grand Bahama Island, but throughout the Bahamas and throughout the hospital, the medical system. And so, again, I want to thank the ambassador for her continued commitment to Grand Bahama Island in particular and the Bahamas at large.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
In other news from police on Grand Bahama are busy investigating a stabbing incident that has left a 35-year-old man recuperating from his wounds at the Rand Memorial Hospital. It was around 12:23 yesterday morning when the victim, along with his friend, were standing outside a business establishment when an unknown man walked between the two of them, which resulted in a verbal dispute. The argument escalated into a physical altercation where the suspect produced a knife and stabbed at the victim multiple times about the body before fleeing the scene. Subsequently, the victim was transported to the Rand Memorial Hospital, where he remains listed in serious condition. Investigations continue into this matter. And when we come back, nurses honored in a special way. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need. And extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Sunday, May 14th, celebrate Mom in the Grand Lucayan Hotel Grand Ballroom for a Mother's Day full buffet brunch treat with plenty of live entertainment. Tickets on sale at the lobby daily. For more information, call 373-1333.
Visit Island Care Pharmacy on Explorers Way, next to Tico's Clothing Store. They offer the best in pharmaceutical, healthcare, and medical supplies. Take advantage of their medical discount plan today. Island Care Pharmacy. Phone 602-0932.
Don't miss the free bracelet event just in time for Mother's Day, going on now exclusively at Pandora Port Lucaya.
Kelvian's Children's Store downtown Freeport has a variety of children's clothes, shoes, and much, much more. Catering to every child. 1A Town Center Mall.
Mothers are meant to be treasured. Make this Mother's Day one that she will never forget. Shop Bellevue Gibson Supplies, Queens Highway for great gift ideas.
Gents, Mother's Day is coming up, and I'm thinking about upgrading my kids' mother's kitchen.
Man, I thought your children's mother was married to another man. You have to know when to let go. This is powerful. You know what? I'm going to upgrade my wife's kitchen for Mother's Day. I am sure she would love that.
I think so too. Check out Cornet Bahamas. They're having a pre-Mother's Day sale, 35% off store-wide starting April 16th through May 16th. The Sandy Port Plaza, Freeport, Albuquerque, and Iloilo.
Culture, wicked strength, Junkanoo, fishing and sailing, just to name a few, free from bondage. That was our heritage. Our nation isn't perfect, there is more work to be done. Forward, upward, and onward towards the rising sun. Yes, we should be proud. It's time to say it loud. Oh, drop your flag, wave it from side to side. Our gold and black represents your pride. Lift your head and say, I'm a proud Bahamian. Woman like me, like a woman like me, la la la. Woman like me, like a woman like me, la la la.
Good day, good evening, and good vibes to my Power Nation. I hope you guys are doing so good. You know you got it locked in with the one and only Angel M, baby.
What you doing in the sky, Gap?
Listening to Power 104.5 FM.
You still listening to the show, Gap?
Yes, Angel, I'm still on.
Girl, bitch, a perfect. Yeah, trouble when she turn it. Need a service. Waistline hot like a furnace. Hey, girl, what you doing to me? Doing to me? Oh.
Girl, what you doing to me? Doing to me?
Tune into Good Vibes with Angel M from 2 to 6 on Power 104.5 FM.
The NACAC New Life Invitational Track Meet comes to the Grand Bahama Sports Complex Saturday, May 13th. Tickets $20 for adults and $10 for children. Make Off the Deep Edge Restaurant your choice to dine this Mother's Day weekend. Enjoy an exquisite 3-course meal or Sunday brunch, live music, prizes, and giveaways. Tickets on sale now. For reservations, call Off the Deep Edge at 352-1664 or WhatsApp 807-3400. Dynamite Productions and Pastor Simeon Ouden present Tell Mother I'll Be There. Sunday, May 14th at 7 p.m. at New Life Worship Center. Get your tickets now for $25 or $30 at the door. Don't miss this unforgettable event. Tickets available at New Life Worship Center. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. With May designated as Nurses Month, Just Girls Ministries at Calvary Temple is paying homage to 17 nurses. The nurses receiving the honor at the ministry's annual tea party, and Director Rochelle Lockhart sees it fitting to honor those community nurses who worked tirelessly throughout the pandemic and over their long tenured careers in the medical field.
Nurses have worked so hard. A lot of them still didn't get vacations. We just wanted to honor them, to let them know that as a community and as a church, we appreciate their labor. And Girls Club go into the schools, and so we saw it fitting to honor community nurses, because the community nurses go into the schools to make sure the kids are vaccinated and healthy. And so we just wanted to do that. We feel so honored to recognize them.
Dressed to the nines for the fancy occasion, the nurses certainly felt all the love and adoration.
I'm actually in nursing 40 plus years, but it is a joy to be at the Beacon School. I spend a lot of time just cleaning invisible cuts.
It's a good day for the nurses in the community, and we also have nurses here from the hospital, so it is good. Retired nurses, and so it's just that we are trailblazers in the community.
The resources were not there like we know that we wanted to be because of the pandemic. We weren't able to get supplies in time and what's not. But we had to do what we can do. And that's the reason why, I feel as though we are appreciated in the community.
And it feels good to know that you're being recognized and people see the hard work that we're doing.
Your Sports Check is up next with Shane Stubbs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to Sports. The New Life Invitational is set for this weekend. Plus, the GB Volleyball Association is set to honor Kim Stewart. But first, we take a look at some action in the Arthur Paris Mary Knapp Soccer Jamboree.
The St. Paul Saints picking up a huge 2-0 victory over the Tabernacle Falcons in junior girls action at the YMCA field.
We had no experience at all except for one player. We worked with them and tried to get them to learn the basics. And they executed.
Center fielder Kaylee McIntosh is confident they'll be a tough out for any opponent.
We had to stay. We put what we learned in practice into the game, and I think we did a really, really good job.
Also in junior girls action, the LAS Buccaneers needed penalty kicks to outlast the Sister Mary Panthers. They'll take that contest 3-1. In senior girls action, the Jack Haywood Wildcats put the league on notice, grounding the Tabernacle Falcons 8-1. And the LAS Buccaneers once again won via penalty kicks. 4-3, the action continues this Thursday at the YMCA and BMES fields. Next in sports, the GB Volleyball Association hosting a tournament in honor of the late Kim Stewart.
We're having a tournament May 19th and 20th, and it is in honor of the late Kim Stewart. Of course, you guys know we would have been dormant for about 5 years, compliments of Tory and COVID. So we thought it fit to have a tournament in honor of him. We just want to bring recognition to the sport and the contribution that he has made.
He was definitely very impactful inside our community when it comes to sports, such as softball and other sports, even track and field.
The tournament will take place at the YMCA and will feature 5 teams vying for the top prize. And lastly in sports, the NACAC New Life Invitational is set for this weekend, May 13th at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. As you know, Grand Bahama played host to the NACAC Open Championships last year. The event is expected to feature our very own Alonzo Russell and other top senior athletes. Jamaica, the US, Canada, and other countries will descend upon Grand Bahama for the one-day event. The action kicks off at 4 p.m.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's your quick update on sports this evening. I'm Shane Stubbs. Be safe and be great.
This the 25% off Mother's Day sale at Park & Shop. 25% off in the ladies department May 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Saturday, May 20th. It's a day of celebration for the entire family. Celebrate our independence with a beach retreat at the GB Sports Complex beginning at 12:30 under the patronage of the Honorable Ginger Moxie MP and Minister for Grand Bahama.
The NACAC New Life Invitational Track Meet comes to the Grand Bahama Sports Complex Saturday, May 13th. Tickets $20 for adults and $10 for children.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Sunland, Tabernacle, Bishop Michael Eldon, St. George's, 8 Mile Rock, and Jack Hayward all participated in this year's relaunch of the Battle of the Brains.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
This is your girl Nishi LS, aka Miss Loose Me, and May 28th is all about the best of the best, all Bahamian concert held in West End, Grand Bahama. I want to see you guys on the commissioner's field because yours truly will be performing live, and so you guys don't want to miss this one. I want to see all of y'all in the place. May 28th, see you there.
Catch the spectacular Mother's Day sale going on now through May 12th at Bethel's Air Conditioning and Refrigeration. Prices on all Ream units have been slashed. Purchase now while supplies last. Some restrictions may apply. Happy Mother's Day from Bethel's Air Conditioning.
Check out the great deals for Mother's Day over at Best Buy Boutique downtown, formerly Kitty's, for stylish dresses, trendy handbags, hats, and unique accessories. Happy Mother's Day from the management of Best Buy Boutique.
It's the afternoon beat. Afternoon beat. 8:10 a.m. Afternoon beat with Zion. Join me Monday to Friday from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. on 8:10 a.m. It's the Afternoon Beat with Zion. Take your space.
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Morgan Smith, you are our Facebook friend of the day, and we say congratulations on your graduation from St. Thomas University. She is a ZNS baby, and I'm sure your parents, Mike and Val, are beaming with pride, and of course your extended family here at ZNS. We are proud of you as well. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance. Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the national performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles done cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC. From the experts that created the Kentucky Chicken Sandwich comes the crispy barbecue sandwich. Bacon, cheddar cheese, crispy onions, and the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor. KFC. It's finger-licking good.
When we started Stormframe Windows in 1999, we wanted to fabricate an impact-rated product to compete with the Florida market, and we've done this. There's no fabricator or vendor from Florida that can do what we can in the Bahamas. Because we fabricate locally and we're a local-based company, we have the capability to provide better customer service than our competitors. With all the worldwide supply chain issues, we at Stormframe have improved our fabrication process and have invested in stock to be able to produce our orders in 4 weeks. We also keep in stock over 400 windows and doors at standard sizes for walk-in customers to purchase. Our professional sales staff is here to assist you with the complete purchase and installation. We also service and ship to the out outlets.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
Moms are the best. And this year's ZNS and Comfort Suites wants to help you have the very best Mother's Day ever. Just tune in to ZNS TV's Bahamas Tonight, Evening News, Monday.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, Gibson's corruption trial hangs in the balance. Valor and duty saluted. Fire guts Junkanoo shack. And in sports, tennis legend son spirals into new sport. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. And we do apologize for the late start, and that's due to technical difficulties. To proceed or to throw out? That's what a Supreme Court justice must now decide following legal arguments in the high-profile corruption trial of sitting F&M MP and former executive chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation, Adrian Gibson, whose attorney is also hoping to block his client's ex-fiancée, Alexandria Mackey, from testifying. Fern Carey has the latest.
During Wednesday's proceedings, attorney for sitting member of Parliament and former executive chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation, Adrian Gibson, Muriel Casey, argued that his client's case should be stayed. He said, among other things, that the Crown's failure to provide full disclosure and his application for their star witness, Alexandria Mackey, to testify by video link breached Gibson's constitutional rights to a fair trial, and the application should also be dismissed. Regarding the prosecution's application that their key witness is awaiting confirmation from the U.S. Embassy for her status to be confirmed and therefore could not travel, Ducil said, among other things, that she should have been aware months prior that she would be required to testify in person in light of her evidence against Gibson. Ducil's submissions were adopted by other members of the defense team. In response, lead prosecutor Cordell Fraser charged that the constitutional motion was an abuse of process, noting that every complaint and dispute from the defense had nothing to do with Gibson having a fair trial. She said, among other things, that their star witness wants to give evidence by video link because the married mother of one is in fear of her life and that of her family. She also indicated that the key witness is alleging that she was brutally attacked by Gibson while they were at a Holiday Inn in the U.S. back in December of 2021, and that the Long Island MP choked and smothered her and attempted to gouge out her eyes. Frazier also charged that the complaints about disclosure was a delaying tactic. She asked that the matter be dismissed and for the court to declare that Gibson's rights under the Constitution have not been infringed. Prosecutors are alleging that Gibson granted contracts while serving as executive chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation and that he gained a financial advantage of more than $1 million from granting those contracts. It is further claimed that he laundered money by buying property and vehicles. 5 other defendants in the case are also accused of aiding Gibson in the matter. Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson will deliver a ruling in the matter Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Still on court news this evening, the 3 defendants charged with the murders of 4 people in Fox Hill back in December 2013 were recently found not guilty. Speaking with our newsroom on the outcome, Fox Hill MP, the Honorable Frederick Mitchell, lamented that the families impacted have no closure and need the country's prayers and support now more than ever.
Reached out to the pastors in the community to say to them perhaps we need to have some form of service in the community to help smooth the waters going forward. I've tried to speak to as many of the families of the victims of the murders, which happened some 10 years ago, to speak to them, to express their concerns and to get a view of what they think of the situation. But my more general concern, of course, is the community, and I hope that there's peace and calm in the community in these circumstances. I can understand people will be upset, others will be happy, but the community's peace must be preserved. So I'm hoping that the pastors are able to get together and to do something on behalf of the entire community.
Well, the Foreign Affairs Minister is just back home after accompanying Acting Deputy Director of Legal Affairs, Kenra Nuri, to discussions with Italian lawyers in Rome on Monday. This as investigations continue into the 2019 deaths of Bahamian Foreign Service Officer Al Ray Ramsey and PhD student Blair John, who mysteriously died in Turin, Italy. The Honorable Fred Mitchell telling us he's obligated to get more information.
There was a jurisdictional issue which arose because the judge had asked for certain other papers to be filed. So we've been in touch with the families here in the Bahamas to be able to get that authorization. The authorization's been obtained. We have made the formal application and we await the outcome of it. On the second stage of it, though, is the diplomatic level. We've spoken to the Italian government and indicated to them that this is the highest priority for us and that it should be made known to the judge what the Bahamas government's diplomatic interest is in this matter.
In other news, the original Congo's Junkanoo group left to start Junkanoo preparations from scratch after costumes contained in their biggest shack went up in flames around 6 this morning in the Fox Hill community. The group now needs your financial support to get back on track for the big showdown on Bay. Here is Public Relations Officer Mark Turnquist.
Well, the cleanup process was supposed to have begun here this morning. So we could start production for the new parade, and so it was then that we learned that some of the material old costumes and cardboard, paper had caught a fire base from the bin that we was originally burning small pieces in. And so that contributed to what we see here this afternoon. Everything was in here, from banner, props, step-down pieces, even all the costumes, even choreographed pieces from the last previous parades. And so we had a lot of stuff stored like.
The public backlash to Royal Caribbean International's 17-acre Royal Beach Club on Paradise Island, prompting company execs to hold a public consultation meeting with Department of Environmental Planning and Protection officials next month. Since the company received the government's approval in principle, that's subject to the appropriate environmental review, RCI officials say they're eager to address the environmental questions raised by the community. Now, once the public consultation period has closed, RCI will publish a detailed environmental management plan outlining how the company will restore the long-neglected stretch of land on Paradise Island's western end. RCI's public consultation meeting is set for June 8th at 6:30 p.m. Well, as we head to the break, we want to remind you to stay tuned later in the newscast for our Mother's Day giveaway code. And once you log on to www.znesbahamas.com, you'll enter the code and answer an online question to be eligible to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
When it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
From the experts that created the Kentucky Chicken Sandwich comes the crispy barbecue sandwich. Bacon, cheddar cheese, crispy onions, and the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor. KFC. It's finger-licking good.
When we started Storm Frame Windows in 1999, we wanted to fabricate an impact-rated product to compete with the Florida market, and we've done this. There's no fabricator or vendor from Florida that can do what we can in the Bahamas. Because we fabricate locally and we're a local-based company, we have the capability to provide better customer service than our competitors. With all the worldwide supply chain issues, we at Stormframe have improved our fabrication process and have invested in stock to be able to produce our orders in 4 weeks. We also keep in stock over 400 windows and doors at standard sizes for walk-in customers to purchase. Our professional sales staff is here to assist you with the complete purchase and installation. We also service and ship to the out outlets.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
Moms are the best. And this year, Z&S and Comfort Suites wants to help you have the very best Mother's Day ever. Just tune in to Z&S TV's Bahamas Tonight, evening news, Monday, May 8th through Thursday, May 11th. Watch for the different code word each day. Then go to www.znesbahamas.com, enter the code word of the day, and answer the question, and you will be eligible to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island. where you can enjoy not only the amenities there, but also have full access and signing privileges at Atlantis. The winner will be announced on Friday, May 12th, just in time for Mother's Day. Moms are the best. And now Z&S and Comfort Suites will make this Mother's Day the best.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/Gear Up for an RBC auto loan.
Today, a grateful nation paused to salute and honor 19 of its finest sons for their valiant service and ultimate sacrifice. Our Jimenita Swain is standing by in Rawson Square for the Defense Force's 43rd Annual Flamingo Memorial Service. Jimenita?
Good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. I'm coming to you live from Rawson Square, where a special memorial service is underway, remembering the 4 fallen soldiers from the HMBS Flamingo incident. Joining me live to talk about that incident and the service is, of course, Lieutenant Commander Andrew Bowe, who was a part of RBDF's planning committee. Good evening, Lieutenant Commander.
Good evening, and good evening, Bahamas.
Now, how important is it to have a ceremony like this some 43 years later after the incident?
It's very important in terms of what we do, in terms of what this is all about. We're remembering some 43 years ago when the Defense Force was very young. In terms of the Flamingo incident, flagship went out 6 weeks after the formation of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. And then we have this tragedy. And for 43 years since, we continue to build upon that in terms of remembering those great men who have served, and continue to serve, some of them. Right now we have 11 survivors who are still alive, and we continue to put forward that this service in remembrance of them and for the country at large.
And obviously we have, or you have, as your motto, guarding our heritage, which is something that is very important. Now, we know usually this memorial service is held at HMBS Coral Harbor. Can you speak to us and let us know why the change to Rawson Square at this time?
I'd just like to say this is not the first time we have had this memorial service on Bay Street, but for this time, we want to connect this with the 50th year anniversary, and we want to bring it out to the bigger audience. Usually it's at the base, and we have the invited guests, but we want to make this so public and continue to sensitize the nation to this tragedy so we can continue to remember.
Well, there you have it, Lieutenant Commander Andrew Bowe. We're going to hear from the Prime Minister during the service, and we're going to also have a salute and, I guess, a display or a designation of flowers to remember the fallen at this time. But for now, I'm Jimenita Swain reporting from Rawson Square. Back to you in Studio Makushla.
Well, thanks, Jimenita. And speaking of survivors, there were 3 Eleuthera residents on board the ill-fated HMBS Flamingo, one of whom has taken on a rather costly task of memorializing the fallen and the survivors. But the end goal calls for your help.
No one ever sit down and consider, hey, what about those people, where they came from, These people have families on islands too. These are island boys.
It's on that very premise that Eleuthera native and HMBS survivor Cladwell Farrington has taken the lead in constructing a Flamingo Memorial Monument and Park in Hatchet Bay.
For 43 years we've been going into Nassau. No one ever considered having one service on the island. It don't have to be on May 10. It could be May 11 or May 9. So we have our little monument that's coming up. Right now, it's a monument with the 5 headstones that represent the 3 gentlemen from Eleuthera, myself, Denzel Clark, and Maynard Miller. Maynard Miller has since passed on. And Mr. Leo Kirby him and his wife moved to Eleuthera. They live in Jamesiston. They have a business out of Jamesiston. But Mr. Kirby has since died. God bless his soul. And Mr. Whitfield Neely, he's out of Harbour Island, but he still resides in Nassau.
The men, all part of the 19-member crew aboard the ill-fated HMBS Flamingo on May 10, 1980. 43 years to the day, yet the images, the events of what happened just as vivid for Farrington, whose story begins in Cape Eleuthera, where there had been a by-election for James Moultrie, the South Eleuthera MP who had resigned his seat. As history has recorded, on their way back, the crew was on routine patrol in the Ragged Island chain when they apprehended 2 Cuban vessels for illegally fishing in Bahamian waters. Not long after, the HMBS Flamingo was attacked by Cuban MiG jet fighters, forcing crew members to abandon ship. 4 Bahamian seamen died that day: Fenric Stirrup, Austin Smith, David Tucker, and Edward Williams.
It wasn't until we got hit, and I came to realize later on that I was one of the intended targets. The radio operator, because when you get the radio, you can't make no contact with anybody, and you make the engineer, you knock out the engines, and the boat cannot move, and then you get the bridge with the captain who's operating the engine, operating the craft. He cannot operate because that is under fire and destroyed. So we were left helpless.
4+ decades later, and Farrington is doing his part to ensure Bahamians never forget. To date, the Hatchet Bay Flamingo Memorial and Monument is up to belt costs, with every expectation that the end result would reflect that of a gazebo.
Then you will have an 8-foot wall with 3 feet high. Then you'll have 4 headstones, replica of the 4 guys who died that day. And below that, on the wall, will be the names of the entire 19 crew members. And this is gone. We're looking to have everything, we want everything to be marble or granite and marble floors. So it's going to be a beauty. It's going to be a little costly, We've been getting some small donations, but they come in.
Farrington is hoping to have the project completed in time for the country's Golden Jubilee on July 10th. Meeting that goal, though, requires another $25,000. Farrington has expressed plans to set up a GoFund. Well, Greg Curry, another HMBS Flamingo survivor, was the leading mechanic and backup radio operator on that fateful day.
A array of bullets hit the boat itself. Just blow everything up. And just blow everything up. And the boat is almost like it's on fire after a while. We pull it to neutral, to a stop. And, everybody's in a panic. That's the first time we've ever got physically attacked. Everybody's just running around. And then we saw that the boat was hit so bad. The captain eventually said to abandon ship.
The Bahamians jumped into the water as the Cuban jets continued to fire on them, as well as the HMBS Flamingo. Once on board the larger Cuban boat, Captain Amos Rowe conducted a head count.
Just before the head count, right after the head count, we find out the head count. We looked at the Flamingo. She's still floating, but they were still hitting it. Just hitting the Flamingo. She's spinning like a top. She's spinning like a top. Missiles and bullets, and they're trying to sink it. And eventually, Flamingo gave up, and she just stood up straight up like that, and she went straight down. Everybody stood up and salute.
Well, Chief Protocol Officer Terry Archer was just a clerk at the Ministry of External Affairs when he and others in the control room received a distress call from one of the crew members on board the HMBS Flamingo while under attack by Cubans back on May 10, 1980.
Besides the defense force, I was the second person, I guess, overheard this radio transmission what was going on. And of course, it was significant because it happened because now the Flamingo was being attacked during that time. So I rushed over to get my permanent secretary, another place was there, so we listening to the radio. So event took place during then, and of course, other things, perspective put in place with the permanent secretary at that time. Now you got to remember, at that time I was just a clerk, so I was not privileged to so many things what was going on.
Archer says the call lasted for about 2 to 3 minutes, but experienced some intermittent issues. He says the permanent secretary at the time did not panic and made a number of calls to get assistance for the distressed.
We did not know at the time what really happened. We just know that I think we were being attacked at that time. The loss of life, not at that time, but we were just dumbfounded. We look at each other, and words could not express it at that time. It's just that everybody sit back and just wait out, and the permanent secretary at that time then took action to what he needs to now do at that time.
Fast forward to today, and parliamentarians remembered the fallen as well as the survivors of that 1980 tragedy at sea in a way Bahamians will never forget. Carla Palmer tells us the events of May 10th will now be on the national calendar annually.
In the past, May 10th, 1980 may have been casually marked, but going forward, that tragic event was Wednesday enshrined in a House resolution to be observed as National HMBS Flamingo Remembrance Day. Prime Minister Davis making the announcement from the floor of Parliament as family members of the slain heroes, surviving members of that contingent, and executives of the RBDF sat in the gallery.
In light of the country's approaching 50th independence of anniversary, it is important to recognize and commemorate the bravery and heroic conduct of the persons who dedicated their lives to maintain Bahamian sovereignty and independence in the Flamingo incident.
The Honorable Wayne Monroe called it an honor long overdue. He seconded the motion in the House, noting more acknowledgements to come.
There are other requests, Madam Speaker, that given time couldn't be action for today and this year. There is a call that the member for West End and Bimini always echoes, the need for a monument. It is proposed, Madam Speaker, that there be tangible monuments in New Providence, in every island from which the Marines hail.
Opposition leader Michael Pintard also saluted the four Marines who died as well as those who survived. He lauded their bravery, integrity, civility, and commitment to service.
The fact that you're prepared to leave your family for weeks at a time in defense of our country, and the toll that it takes on family life, and yet you continue to do it because of this sense of duty.
As the country prepares to celebrate its 50th anniversary of independence, Prime Minister Davis is encouraging Bahamians to rekindle a sense of duty and national pride in a united commitment to serve. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Moms are the best, and this year Zedness and Comfort Suites want to help you have the very best Mother's Day ever. Just tune in to Zedness TV's Bahamas Tonight evening news from Monday, May 8th to Thursday, May 11th from 7 to 8 p.m. and watch for the different code word each day. Then go to www.zednessbahamas.com, enter the code word of the day, and answer the question, and you'll be eligible to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island, where you can enjoy not only all the amenities there, but also have full access and signing privileges at Atlantis. The winner will be announced on Friday, May 12th, just in time for Mother's Day. Moms are the best, and now Zedness and Comfort Suites will make this Mother's Day the best. The National Report returns in a moment. Stay with us.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in here with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Get in gear with an RBC auto loan with up to 100% financing, extended repayment at low interest rates.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear-up. Conditions apply.
We held a meeting here at the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation. Industry stakeholders discussing understanding the industry at large. What are some of the challenges that we face? How can we unite as an industry to identify the problems, prioritize them, and then set out subcommittees to systematically address them with the relevant government agencies or stakeholders or industry partners? So for me, today was a start of, such a big initiative, inclusion and collaboration, coming together with the hotel partners, tour operators, BHTA, Family Island operators, Family Island hotels. I'm just elated at the energy that we've seen to identify, prioritize, and address these issues that are facing the industry.
So this tourism task force meeting that was called by the Director General was not only invigorating, timely, it conveyed a level of excitement, if you could tell you were in the room. And for us, as was spoken in the meeting, because it illustrates how important it is that these issues get attended to. This is very important. You've heard my president, Sandy Sands, talk to this guest experience. DG sat with Lanisha Darval, the chairperson of road traffic, at our last BHTA meeting and spoke about elevating the guest experience. It is vital.
When we look at the Bahamas through the lens of the visitor, we need to see what they see. We do a wonderful job promoting the destination. And when our visitors come to our shores, it's our responsibility to deliver on expectation. So whether it's the ecotourism and the adventure of Grand Bahama, or the 130 species of birds in San Salvador, whether it's the casinos in Bahama or at Atlantis, or whether it's the infinity pool at Goldwyn, we have to make sure that the visitor experience is always enriched.
This moment in time, very, very exciting for me, and to know that we can have this time to look back and right now in the present see his lovely wife and children who has weathered the storms with him in getting this country where we are right now. We thank God for the legacy.
He is such an inspirational individual. He is what many may say that is a perfect representation of a true leader.
And the legacy for me that Sir Lyndon Pindling left was all about freedom.
For my generation, Sir Lyndon Pindling was everything, because without him, I wouldn't be standing here doing what I have been doing for the past 30 years.
I never look at it the same way as him as just a man.
He has given everything that he had, including his family, and definitely left a legacy behind that can never, ever be forgotten.
I love that we have the chance to just say thank you for his work.
The 6th edition of the Bahamas Games are on the way. July 7th through the 15th. Get ready for inter-island sporting competition in the spirit of unity and camaraderie. Which island is gonna win? Our nation, our talent, our games. And look out for the B Games crew coming to your island soon. For more information, call 809-1242 or visit thebahamasgames.org.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian.
every day in May includes great specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets, including Cardinal Evaporated Milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. Soy's Mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $6.99. Coca-Cola sodas, 6-pack, 12 ounce, $3.59. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $5.99. Boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Spring is here and Easter is right around the corner. Thinking about moving forward with your personal goals that require money? Fidelity Bank can get you approved in no time without the red tape and the runaround. Fidelity offers competitive interest rates and minimal fees. The loan that you need and can afford is just a phone call away.
Well, we're giving you a heads up this evening. In just 2 weeks, the Broadcasting Corporation will be the venue of an all-star concert as it celebrates the 87th anniversary of Radio Bahamas. The May 26th event kicks off with a happy hour at 5, with showtime scheduled for 8 p.m. One of the performers stopped by our studios to give us a sneak peek of what to expect.
Jumping, dancing. Well, look here, I'm so excited to be a part of this 87th anniversary. This is my home, so it's a privilege for me to come back and perform. The usual G&OD, I'm going to display my music and my talent. Jumping, dancing. See your face in the place.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home.
This is the super versatile Ring Stick-Up Cam. It goes indoors, outdoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk. Hey, Eddie. Works with Alexa. Comes in tons of power options and works with Ring Alarm to start recording automatically if something's going on. Seriously? Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor Stick-Up Cam by Ring.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while doing my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your...
Okay, fam. Disaster preparedness report? Huh?
Plywood, nails.
Check. Leah?
Got the food.
All right. And me? Important documents, first aid, and medication. Check. Uncle Mike? Water safety kit. Check. Lexi?
The mental health and wellness plan. I found out that there are ways to reduce stress, fear, loss, and anxiety of a disaster. I even put together a list of persons willing to help us if things get really, really rough. Knowing how to care for mental health needs is an important part of a disaster preparation.
Call the Bahamas Psychological Association today at 356-0039 and ask about our free workshops.
Have you been denied a U.S. visa and don't understand why? Have you been turned away from the U.S. border without an explanation? Maybe you've had a prior arrest or conviction and you're not clear on how to move forward at this point. Call our office. We may be able to help. 954-449-1833.
Well, it's now time for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We are under partly cloudy skies, temperature 81 degrees, the relative humidity at 71%. We have northeast winds at 12 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,016.0 millibars, that is 30.00 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 80 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Key and Marshall, Babaco, the Berry Islands at 78 degrees, 83 in Alistown, Bimini, 80 in Harbour Island, Rocktown, Eleuthera as well. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, North Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros reporting 82 degrees, 80 degrees in Alistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma, 81, 82s in Rygat Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 83, Acklands, 83, Matchetown in Agua, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setter. For all areas tonight through Thursday, northeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The high tide, that will occur at 12:45 in the morning with a low tide at 7:22 tomorrow morning. And then as we take you into Friday, for all areas, the winds become northeast to east, increasing in speeds 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights building 3 to 6 feet over the ocean, so caution flies go up for the 700 islands on Friday. Low tide taking place at 8:24 in the morning with a high tide at 2:24 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. For your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continue continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter
Which of us you choose?
You can pay for goods and services
Wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Well, Mark Knowles is the name synonymous with success as far as the Bahamian sports world is concerned, but it's now his son who's grabbing the headlines. Graham Knowles is a highly sought-after two-sport athlete who just recently finished up his junior season, one of the most highly acclaimed high school football programs in the United States. In the ZNS Total Sports exclusive, we hear from the 6'7" quarterback who's hoping to hear his name called on Sundays. Well, he's been featured in a TikTok video that recaps his junior season that has already been viewed over 250,000 times. If he was not a household name, he's surely on the path to becoming one. Graham Knowles, the son of Bahamian tennis legend Mark Knowles, just wrapped up a stellar season at South Lake Carroll in South Lake, Texas, one of the most revered high school football programs not only in the state, but in America. Having produced several NFL quarterbacks and most recently the #1 QB prospect in the 2022 class, Knowles going 7-1 as a starter and throwing 20 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. For those that may not be aware, it doesn't get any bigger than high school football in the state of Texas. We spoke to Knowles and asked him about playing under those Friday night lights.
I mean, Friday Night Lights here is huge. It's a big event. Everyone kind of lives for it the whole week. The whole city comes out every Friday. You got people tailgating before the game. It's a pretty cool experience, and I mean, it's hard to describe to someone that hasn't been here. And it's certainly a citywide event.
Knowles, who's already fielded several Division I offers from schools such as Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, and Colorado State, spoke about his stock rising after his highlight video.
Obviously, it was awesome getting that exposure and seeing the follower count go up and stuff like that and getting my name out there. And I feel like I've been working hard on my game and letting the game come to me and finally getting someone to recognize what I'm doing and put it out there and response from people that saw it and stuff like that. That's been really cool.
And he's certainly not a slouch. Graham's a two-sport athlete that excels on the court as well.
Basketball's in the offseason of football, so it's something to keep the mind busy. It's nice keeping the body in shape, and I just love to compete. So any sport, I'll go out and compete in it. I played a bunch of sports growing up, finally narrowed it down to basketball and football as I got older and time started to run out. But, I just love competing, so I'll go out and I'll play whatever you need me to.
In part 2 of our sit-down with Graham tomorrow, we hear about how his relationship with his dad helped him to excel as an athlete. In soccer news, the Baja boys continuing their winning ways. The Bahamas men's national soccer team would advance to the knockout round in the 2023 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships. This is Elvid Julmis scored 2 goals in 3 seconds at the end of the game, cementing a 6-2 victory for the Bahamas over Belize at the National Beach Soccer Stadium. The host nation scored 3 goals in the final third, including Julmis' 2 goals to beat Belize for a second time in a little over a month. The Bahamas won the previous match 7-3 in El Salvador in April at the Enoch World Beach Games. The Bahamas remains in second place in Group B with 4 points. Mexico leads the group with 6. The two teams face each other later tonight in a key showdown. The Bahamas' opponent in the knockout stage will be known after tonight's matchup. In celebration of Mother's Day, Paradise Sports Consultants, along with Impact Tennis, will be hosting a free, fun-filled, health-conscious cardio tennis clinic at the Tom Grant Park Tennis Courts on Harold Road on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. All ages are welcomed, regardless of skill set. The point is to show up, have fun, get a good sweat, and win prizes.
This coming weekend, we are celebrating mothers, health and fitness, which is one of the big pillars of our company.
Cardio tennis is a fun group activity for all levels and all ages. You do not have any experience with playing tennis. It's fun, it's involving high cardio activity. The session is usually between 60 and 90 minutes, and it involves great music, great vibes, and positive energy.
And the power of social media is definitely real. Yesterday, the World Athletics Twitter account, in honor of the birthday of Marie-Jose Perec, one of the greatest female quarter-milers of all time, released a graphic on its Twitter page and asked its followers who they considered the greatest female 400-meter runner in history. The graphic showed the aforementioned Jose Perec, Allyson Felix, Kathy Freeman, and Sonia Richards-Ross. But visibly absent was Bahamian Olympic double champion Shawnee Miller-Weibo, much to the ire of members of Bahamian Twitter who noted the absence and took to the platform to voice their concerns. A look at a few tweets. How we talking about 400 and forgot to mention Shawnee Miller-Weibo? Miller-Weibo not being on here is criminal. Y'all forget about Shawnee? Conch shell for all of y'all. Y'all better stop playing and put some respect on Shawnee. Well, today the account reposted the graphic and added Miller-Weibo to the lineup, noting the responses that were given to the initial post. Shawnee, of course, just recently welcomed a beautiful baby boy with her husband, Michael, in April. That's been a look at your sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
May I have your attention, please? If you're looking to save, you're looking at super value and quality supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.39. Par Excellence long grain rice, 5 pounds, $3.89. Hillendale eggs, extra large, 1 dozen, 2 for $5. Chicken drumsticks, 89 cents per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.69 per pound. Donate your change to the Humane Society animals at super value and quality supermarkets.
One of the biggest decisions you will make when remodeling a kitchen is the design choice for your kitchen cabinets. Whether you want your kitchen to look modern or traditional, the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets will make a sound choice. Stop into Conard Bahamas today and let them enhance your kitchen with the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets. At Conard Bahamas, they also carry an array of Calacatta quartz countertops. Conard Bahamas, Sandy Port Nassau, Freeport Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera.
Moms are the best. And this year, ZNS and Comfort Suites wants to help you have the very best Mother's Day ever. Just tune in to ZNS TV's Bahamas Tonight, evening news, Monday, May 8th through Thursday, May 11th. Watch for the different code word each day. Then go to www.znsbahamas.com. Enter the code word of the day and answer the question, and you will be eligible to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island, where you can enjoy not only the amenities there, but also have full access and signing privileges at Atlantis. The winner will be announced on Friday, May 12th, just in time for Mother's Day. Moms are the best. And now ZNS and Comfort Suites will make this Mother's Day the best.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have this weakening frontal boundary across the southeast Bahamas. Well, that's going to start backing up slowly towards the north over the next couple of days, so we will see an increase in shower activity as of Friday. Also, the winds will start picking up on Friday as well. As we head into the weekend, those showers will become more scattered. And as far as tonight is concerned, partly cloudy conditions, a bit on the warm side with a low temperature just around 75 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny, quite pleasant with 83 degrees. for your high temperature and extended weather forecast over the next several days. As I told you already, showers will start to develop on Friday with isolated thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon. And as we head into Saturday and Sunday, we will see more widespread shower activity with some of those heavy at times, particularly on Sunday. Come Monday, things will pan out just a bit. We'll see a little bit more sunshine in our forecast on Monday. The rains return once again as we head into Tuesday. Temperature-wise, not too bad. We're going to keep you in the mid-80s during the daytime, but the nighttime temperatures, they're going to be in the mid to upper 70s. Makishna.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.